What up, y'all? It's your boy Kev on stage.
And Doughboy, and started off to the left. It's another installment of Righteous and Righteous. You gotta wait, man. You went
to the right last time.
I know. I had to switch up.
Pick it up.
I was picking up. Yeah.
Wherever you feel it.
That's how I be feeling. What's up, man?
What up, y'all? It's your boy Kev on stage.
This is your boy Doughboy.
We ran it back from the beginning.
And we're gonna start it off going to the right this time. This is.
Why are we doing this thing? I want to say.
That just makes me feel better in my soul, don't it? Y'all can do it at home when you see us doing it.
We are out here in Louisville, Kentucky. We got a show in about 2 hours.
Something like that, yeah. And we are in the room because we love you guys. And we were even gonna, I ain't gonna hold you. I had said, Kev, man, would you mind horribly if we do this tomorrow? You know what he said? He said, look, man, I don't want to take a chance of something going wrong and they not getting what they need. So
I don't want y'all to be like, where the bonus episode at? Where they at, though? You never know. Hotel Wi-Fi be so wild, trash, wild, inconsistent. So, shoot, sometimes it be taking 4 or 5 hours for the bonus episode to upload in the hotel. So we're going to upload it before we leave for the show, and hopefully it's uploaded by the time we get back for the show, so you'll have it on Sunday. You just never know. Man, let me tell you what. We're going to get into the episode first. But first, I want to say, the Real Comedian Social Media Tour is 100% independently owned and operated.
Oh, yeah.
Black company, my wife and I fund the entire thing. We post the good stuff. We post the sellouts. We post the large crowds. And we also post the bad stuff. Last night was a doozy of a show.
Oh, wow.
Let's
talk about it real quick.
It's a bonus episode. We're amongst friends.
Yeah.
We pulled up to Cincinnati.
Get in there, right?
We got a great deal on a high school. And shout out to the person who sent me the deal. I am not blaming you for this, okay? But we paid for custodian, sound man, light tech, stage manager. These people are all union. You got to do, I think, 4 or 6 hour blocks, even though we don't need them for, I think it might be 6, 8 hours, whatever the point is. Even if you need them for 45 minutes or an hour, like our show top to bottom is
2 hours.
Yeah.
Max.
So you still got to pay a minimum of 4 or 6. How about when we get to the venue, or when the guys get to the venue, they are completely surprised that we're having a show.
What are you guys
Genuinely surprised.
Like, hey, guys, you need something? Yeah, it's a show.
We rented this. They had no sound man, no stage manager, no tech, just the custodian who actually just happened to still be at work.
Yeah, he just had to be like, bro, if y'all would have came 30 minutes from now,
I would have been here. Yeah, so they had to they didn't even want to give us a extension cord. Like, fam, we're paying for this. This ain't no pro bono.
They just showed up like, hey.
Yeah, we got paperwork, documents, payments, stuff like that. Yeah. So we had to get a fan.
Well, the lights didn't work. The lights, we had no way to turn on the lights.
So the lights are on the whole time the show is not ready. So as soon as my brother goes out to get the show cracking, the lights go off. So he started the show, the lights finally come on, people clapping. Luckily, we had an amazing show.
They were late. Shout out to them. They wanted to laugh. They laughed. We had a good old time.
So, but after the show, I'm gonna just blame him. My brother lost the car keys.
He absolutely could. He tried to call me and put it on me like, "No, you have the keys." I'm like, "No."
Lost the car keys, and I had in my life. I don't know if you ever have. In my lifetime, I've never lost
a pair of keys.
Pair of keys.
Knock on wood.
This is pressed wood. Hilarious. Never lost a pair of car keys. Definitely never lost a rental pair of car keys.
Side note, that's why I always leave my keys at your house when we go on the road.
Yeah, it ain't my responsibility.
Because I just don't, I know.
It ain't my responsibility.
I know, but what I'm saying is I just don't like having them on me because I know
just zip them in your backpack like a real man. So we have to, after the show, wait for a tow truck, AAA to come pick us up. Mind you, by now we're hungry. We're all trying to eat healthy. So, we're planning to eat at a certain time. Right. It was never in our plan to be stuck outside. We're cold because we had to wait outside. And we're tired, middle of the night. So it sucked. And I posted that too because this is what happens when you run a business. It's not all glitz and glamour.
Side note, man, you're a good leader because you really wasn't tripping. Well, I know you had to be upset.
I was very frustrated.
You kept it really cool and glued together.
I was very frustrated. But at the end of the day, it's like losing your bag. Right. Like, I was thinking about this because up until we started touring, I'd never lost the bag. Like the airline had never lost my bag.
I always be so astonished at how they do it, but I guess it's just human error.
Yeah. So, but when you start traveling, sometimes we tell somewhere between 10, 12 weekends, 10, 12 flights a month. All that traveling, it's almost bound to happen. Yeah. So yesterday we were scrambling and stuff, and it's like, you can be mad. Being mad ain't gonna bring the keys back. Yeah. I know no one did it on purpose. It wasn't like carelessness. I mean, I guess it was a little bit carelessness, but it's just the cost of doing business. And when you are the boss, you gotta pay for
the cost. Sometimes you take a loss. When you brush your teeth, you should floss.
You ain't got no money, shop at a Ross.
You know what I'm saying? If you're going to a street, you gotta cross.
And if you need a running back, get to the outside, throw a halfback toss.
Oh, come on, man. It's too long to get there.
If you eating the ribs, you need the barbecue sauce. Really? Don't jump on mine.
I like it. I like it. Side note, we're in Louisville.
Jesus died
on the cross. I wish I had more.
Louisville.
One of the best wide receivers ever is Randy
Moss.
Okay. Well, we went to some place. It was Sandra D's. Aunt Sandra's.
Sally
Mae? You owe some.
Sarah Mae.
Sandra Mae's.
Sandra Mae.
Sandra D's.
I don't know.
Anyway, we had some of the best soul food. It was fire.
And what we did, because we're both trying to leave our life right.
Oh, sorry. Let's give him a quick update. Last week.
Oh, yeah.
I lost. So we started off. I really started at 320. But when we started, it was 315. 320, he started at 260. He's now 255. Mm-hmm. I'm now 308. I'm going to catch him, guys. I'm absolutely
catching him. My head is 50 pounds.
Yeah, so if you could get that drain for some water, you win this comp right now. So what we did was we walked. So we walked like a mile
to the restaurant.
And then we did like a community thing. We just ordered.
Instead of ordering full meals, we split. We had chicken and ribs, basically. We split those, had a wing each, a rib or two each, and then we split the sides because
it was cool.
I mean, cool.
And then we walked back. We didn't even eat all the food.
Didn't eat all the food.
And then we
walked
back.
Upset, by the way.
Yeah, but we don't care.
I got a competition.
And we didn't get the banana pudding.
Didn't get the banana pudding.
Shout out to.
Didn't have no sugary drinks, and we walked back.
So shout out to that, man.
Yeah, I'm working on not eating until I feel full.
If you can stop that, because I think our mind doesn't even catch up to the fact that, all right, that's enough, because we just be greedy. You'd be like, I gotta throw up now. Why? That's just how we do with our lives. And you don't have to. Just chill out. Stop, that's enough.
Why are you eating with both hands?
That's how I'll be living in my life. And you don't have to. You can do little stuff like drink some water before you eat, different things like that. So shout out to us, we getting healthy one day at a time. So I'm definitely excited.
That's so funny. All right, so
we're excited.
Moving into our topics for Z Day.
I'm mad.
Kodak Black is a trash individual.
He is the poop emoji with teeth.
Turds with
teeth is what he is.
So we're driving to Louisville, and Doughboy is on the gram, and he shows me this video of Kodak Black basically saying that
now that Nipsey Hussle, rest in peace, has passed away.
Yeah.
Lauren London's fair game, and he wants to shoot his shot. He was so.
He's like, I'm gonna be a good man for her, and after a year,
he said she a whole widow out here. And I'm gonna give her a year or so, just so she gonna be crying and stuff.
And the thing is, bro, like it's not just this. Kodak has consistently he had the sexual assault
pending.
case.
That's not even closed.
He had the one in the past.
Right.
He has the current one.
Right.
He had the young and May thing where he was like, I'll knock her down. She's like, bro, I'm not attracted to you.
Right.
Bro, you will be. Like having your sexual assault case, I probably wouldn't be saying things like that. But, poop continues to poop, and now he's basically insinuating, and even one of Kodak Black's boys was like, you wild, disrespectful. A friend of Kodak had to call him. You know how trash you have to be?
But see, this is the thing. And first of all, I know that we'd be a fan of getting rid of cancel culture. He's canceled to me.
Well, see,
one and done.
Perfect example. Were you supporting him before?
I like his music.
Okay, yeah. You know the funny, that meme of him where he turned around in the car looking like, I didn't even know that was him. Kodak Black has never done anything for me. I do not enjoy his music. Never purchased it. Never listened to it.
So, but this is just a nail in the coffin. Like you never
not
will.
Even nail in the coffin.
But now you never will even give it.
It's not even that. I guess so. I probably wouldn't have given it a chance anyway. I don't think he's making music for me. He absolutely isn't.
Right.
But he's just reminding me that I made a good decision in not supporting him.
See, this is
just
the thing that
trash.
Just a trash person.
Here's the thing.
It's a lot of things that I feel.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you rock.
How I feel about this is, for one, I think this very much speaks to where we're at in society. A lot of the younger generation, they just don't have a class. Like that's just
funny though.
That's
every
classes.
generation says that.
But see, this thing.
Every generation says that about the younger generation, though.
A friend of mine and I were having a conversation last weekend, and he was when he was breaking it down to me, it really made a lot of sense. He was like, "Bro, when we were coming up, you had to have some type of game. You had to know how to talk to a woman. You had to know how to say things. These dudes just slide in the DM, like they're just socially awkward, like because you don't even have the experience enough of life. People coming up in this digital world, you don't even know how to speak with people."
Perfect example. This is not against Kodak. This is against the new generation.
Okay.
The generation prior to this said the same thing about us. You were supposed to. When I was a kid, they came to the door dressed in a suit and tie, brought a bouquet of flowers, said hello to my mom and dad.
Right. We just showed up and beat the horn.
Not even beat the horn, but we wasn't dressed in no suit and tie. We didn't bring no.
Ain't no howdy, ma'am.
Yeah, ain't none of that stuff. And they were. But I think what happens is there's been class and trash in every generation.
Right.
You know, even now, like Zay, for example, he a good portion of his life and his friendships happen digitally. Like he has his friends at school, but then they continue that conversation on WhatsApp or on the game. They be talking to each other. Right. Yeah, you know, when we were coming up, I would say part of this joke on stage. It ain't gonna ruin it. But in order to see your friends after school, you had to physically go to them.
Or have sleepovers. Now they just be up all hours of the night with their friends.
They don't have no reason to spend the night because what did you do when you spent the night in your boy's house? Play the game.
Play video games. Ate food.
Now they can play the game with their boys from
at their house.
And eat the food at their own house. And maybe Zay and Joe have the good house with premium
fire snacks. If I was coming up right now, I'd be best friends with both of those guys.
We got
your snacks. Even on your bad days, you still got fruit snacks.
Premium snacks at my house.
Fire. You don't ever disappoint.
We keep some back.
Lit.
I ain't get to 255 eating healthy. But back to Kodak. I think in any generation he was born in, he would have been trash. In a suit and tie.
He's just a trash
He
individual.
just was not going to be a good thing.
It's different levels of trash. Because I just feel like once somebody has, like this man, Nipsey's not even in the ground. He's not even a week old. You're talking about his woman. Like, what is wrong with you?
Today.
It's not even, no, it was a week Sunday. It happened Sunday. It's Saturday.
Was it Sunday?
Yes.
It was Sunday. We were
I wasn't even with you guys, but I remember where I was at. It was on. I know for a fact it was Sunday.
You're right.
So it's Sunday, and you're just disrespectful to a man to a very influential, powerful voice of this culture right now, and you're so tasteless and classless to speak like that. It disgusts me.
I think, man,
like, bro, like I would, if like he would be the type of person, like if I seen him, I just would want to just punch him in his face.
Oh, he would.
Like, bro,
he would slide in your wife's
how dare you?
He would slide if he was your boy. He would
Bro,
slide in your wife's
I don't have any. I don't want to hear a Kodak Black record. And to be honest, another thing people aren't thinking about, like what you just touched on it 2 seconds ago, his behavior makes his sexual assault. It's like, bro, you don't really think good. Like you're not really all the way tied together up here.
You absolutely don't think.
And you're crazy if you think that the prosecutors and everybody aren't seeing things that you're doing, like online. Like your behavior is not good. You're making sexual advances at an openly gay woman and going back and forth with her.
And she's absolutely been like, fam.
And
like,
she told you to
whether
chill.
she was gay or straight,
you're harassing her.
She's not interested.
And you're being harassing to her.
Yes, like, bro, like, I'm embarrassed for you. Like, bro, have you ever heard any news from Kodak Black that was positive?
Never.
Nothing.
And this just makes me not want to, I gotta wash my hands
Kodak
of the class lip. There we go. I like that. But I just feel like he's disrespectful. And honestly, he might want to cancel shows in LA. The love Nipsey gets, like they're having Nipsey's funeral at the Staples Center.
Yeah.
If you think you gonna come to Los Angeles and rock a show and there's nothing's gonna happen to you,
I would.
Bro, I would just take that off the calendar.
Please.
Take Cali off the calendar, bro. Because I don't want to be having another conversation about something that happened to you. Like, I don't wish harm on no one.
I don't think you
need. So I see that you are stupid and you're disrespectful. What you need to do is have what you always say: if you're gonna be stupid, don't be dumb.
Yeah.
You were stupid by saying what you said. Don't be dumb and come to LA now. Because ain't nobody playing with you, bro.
There's plenty of other
disrespectful little punk. Can I say punk?
You can say punk. I know what you wanted to say.
Okay, I wanted to say more, but that made me feel old and white. You punk. I was just mad. Like, I'm done with Kodak.
So remember
bro.
OJ? Do you see the OJ the TV show?
Yeah.
So you know OJ's dad was gay.
No.
Yeah. You did? You know?
Did they say that in the show?
They did, because somebody went to visit his dad. He was like, his dad's a punk. And that was like code for gay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even remember.
That's
I
why
didn't
I was
know
just
that.
like, that's how old it was. And I was like, that was the term for a punk. Like,
oh, that used to be the...
brings a whole different connotation to the word punk. But yeah. So speaking of the OJ thing.
Oh, that was a great segue. I see what you're doing there. I like that.
Chris Darden, who was played by Sterling K. Brown.
He killed that, by the way.
And I met him at the Global Entry place last week.
Okay. Really?
Yeah.
Where you trying to go?
I don't know.
Sterling, where you trying to go? You wild, Sterling. Where you trying to go to, Sterling?
Where you trying to go?
Sit down.
Chris Darden, that is
Right.
representing the man charged with Nipsey's murder, Eric Holder.
That's just disrespectful.
Wait, disrespectful to represent him?
Yes.
He's a defense attorney.
But why are you defending him?
You know, it's funny. I thought about that.
That's rude.
We think
He's always side note. It's not that he's just representing someone who is charged with murder. Mm-hmm. He is representing a man who is on videotape murdering somebody very precious to the black voice in the black community. Mm-hmm. And why? Like it comes across as a form of clout chasing to me.
I think
because he can't pay you.
No. But if you win, so I was watching this show and it was saying, if you win that case, then the other people have to pay your legal fees.
Who does?
That's like the other side, yeah.
That's how that works?
Sometimes that's how it works. I don't know if it's true. I saw it on the TV show, so I don't know if it's true or not.
That's what you're basing this on?
Yeah, apparently if you wanted to see, TV be right sometimes. But I don't know. I don't want to say. And also, I owe you an apology. Oxtail.
Oh, you gonna say this on the bonus?
No, I'll put it on the regular.
Okay.
I got no problem. No problem. You just reminded me. I never have a problem admitting when I was wrong. All I was saying was oxtail didn't come from ox anymore, but technically an ox is a type of cattle, and also apparently it used to come from actually from ox. I know it came from the tail, but it was a tail of beef, like a cattle.
So where were you wrong at? So it does come from ox?
It comes from where I was wrong at is an ox is a part of the bovine family. Cattle, it's cattle. So it's all the same family. Basically.
Okay, so
I was saying it came from a cow, not an ox. Not that it didn't come from like.
And you and Josh were so confident, just like
I really watched the video. I was like, it doesn't come from an ox, right? It's beef.
But then even when Josh chimed in, he was like, "Are you serious? You're digging yourself a hole, bro."
Josh.
I know. I'm saying, but the combo of you two seems so. Okay. So you was wrong.
Yeah, I was quiet about it on the ground.
I don't know. I still have to do it.
So anyway, back to Chris Darden.
Yes.
I was thinking about this. I think I don't know if it's clout chasing, but I think when first of all, he got washed by Johnny Cochran.
And he was
the team. He
was trying to put OJ in jail.
He was a prosecutor for.
And now you want to. So it just.
Now he's actually.
I know I don't like him.
He's on the other side now because he's defending this guy.
Right. So
and he's prosecuting OJ.
So this is what I think.
Team that was prosecuting OJ.
I think he's a sellout.
A sellout.
Yes, because you were trying to put OJ in jail. Mm-hmm. Well, I can't call him a sellout for that because OJ obviously did it.
Yeah.
So I actually just retract that whole point. I don't think that he's a sellout. But I
think what we think is people going to. I mean, we all know people going to law to make money. Like that's
right.
the law. We think there's some public servants service part of it. But if you are a high-profile attorney like that, you got washed by Johnny Cochran, and then the TV show just kind of reminded the new generation how bad you got washed.
That was like 30 years ago.
Yeah, but the TV show was just like a year or two ago. And I didn't really know, I didn't even know he was on the thing. I knew about, actually, all I remember is Marsha, I mean, not Marsha, I think Marsha Clark or Marsha Clark.
No, Marsha Ambrosius. Lord,
all I remember is Johnny Cochran. I don't remember anybody else. But when that TV show came out, I was like, well, Darden and them got washed, you know?
Washed.
So maybe he wants to have so obviously this case is going to be high profile. And just like, you know, basketball players want to play in the biggest games and, you know, boxers want to fight the biggest people, maybe lawyers just want to win or lose.
So then, but then in that case, then it's just, is it ever really about doing the right thing and getting people off?
In America?
So then you just really just want to do this for some type of recognition.
Here's the thing. Absolutely. 100%. If he wins. Let me finish. Okay. Johnny Cochran, know how much. I'm about to
fry you up. Go ahead.
No, you ain't going to fry me up. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. If you are a lawyer, right? Now, say he wins, right? By whatever it takes, right? And you could say he has doughboy faith. We're calling doughboy faith anything the odds seem insurmountable and you still believe you can win. Now, say by some stroke of luck or law or whatever the case is, or street people end up snitching, he wins, right? And you need a defense attorney, wouldn't you want to hire that guy? If you saw him get somebody off who is more than likely obviously guilty?
Yeah, I mean, if I did something and I was guilty, but
that's what they're hoping.
But this is the thing. But this is the problem that I think. I feel like when you're in positions like that, and I think that that's just always a very slippery slope when you talk about lawyers, because it's like, where's the win at? If you win and he gets off, you win and it helps your career. But then you also know you let a guilty man walk for killing a very powerful young black man.
Well, that's the thing. Here's the thing.
So is that how you want to? I mean, can you even savor that victory?
In the legal system, if you're a defense attorney, you are trying to get somebody off whether they're guilty or innocent. It's your job to try to keep them out of jail. If you're a prosecutor, you're trying to make them seem guilty whether they're actually guilty or innocent.
Isn't that scary though?
I could never be in that field. Jeez. If you're a prosecutor and you're good, you are more than likely to put someone in jail who is not guilty. So then, if you're a defense attorney, you're more than likely got someone off who is not innocent.
So then, if it's set up like that, then that almost means that innocent people are always going to go to jail, and guilty people, not always, but there will always be innocent people going to jail. There will always be guilty people not.
Absolutely. Same thing if you're a doctor, if you're a surgeon. You are trying to, absolutely, but if you're trying to save lives, sometimes people are going to die. So should you not be a doctor because you might not be able to save somebody's life?
I think that's a problem that with this Darden guy that just bothers me, is that you want to get your career back on track, and I get that. You got washed a couple years ago, and you want to get back in the game, and now you have to do it and let and let somebody's life has been taken, and the only way that you can get back popping is to let a killer go free. I have a serious problem.
No, let me be clear. I don't agree.
I know you're not agreeing.
I'm just saying, like,
you're just explaining what it is.
I'm really trying to understand why. Because had you even heard about in between this and OJ? Had you even and the TV show actually unrelated to anything from OJ? Have you heard about this dude, Chris Darden?
No.
And that's probably why he took it. Whether I agree with that or not,
that's just a very sad state. Like, that's to know that in your mind, for me to get back popping and do my thing in my career, I got to spring obviously guilty killer. But that will help me. Yeah. I just wouldn't be able to my moral compass wouldn't allow me to do that. I couldn't even be excited.
I couldn't either. I think.
And then that's probably gonna put his life. Wouldn't that put his life in danger?
I don't think so. I think people understand with the
Nipsey
Lord.
is very beloved.
I don't think.
But somebody's gonna have to defend him, I guess.
Even if he had a public defender, someone has to defend him. Right. So I mean, like, I don't think the streets will be like, your lawyer can get it too. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I also don't know anything about the streets, so I don't know how street politics work. All I know is what I saw from television.
Yeah, I'm not rocking with him. I feel like Darden's a dork.
Man, the Nipsey thing, I know we only touched on it and we don't have to go into it. The thing that made me the most sad about this, because I said before, I didn't listen to any of Nipsey's music. Like, I didn't seek it out. But didn't avoid it. It just wasn't like, I was thinking about it. I don't listen to a crazy amount of rap anyway.
Really don't.
Yeah, so, but there's no way Nipsey knew he was this much loved.
No.
I
don't think anybody knew that. Like,
man,
Rick Ross has a tattoo of him already.
Oh, really? I know that. Did you see the memorial at his store? How many candles? Like, you couldn't even park there. Like, and I know, and this just kind of reminds me, and I've kind of been on this since my great-grandma died. I was just like, man, I don't think I told her I loved her enough. So I'd be telling you I love you. And, like, I don't really hold that back anymore. Right. But we really don't be telling people.
We don't give people their flowers.
People do not be knowing.
And that's nothing that, this is what I did take away. Because death always impacts me differently. It's very difficult for me to go to funerals, even of people that I love. Like, I remember going to my grandfather's funeral. That was like one of the last funerals I went to, just because that stains in my brain, like that last, vision of a person. But I think really what Nipsey did to me, because I was able to meet him, he's such a good guy. I think he just represented that any of us can make it. This is a guy from a notorious gang that, just put his whole life into this, and look where it took him. Like, Grammy nominated, like, took his life to heights. But this is something that really stood out to me in this whole situation, and this how it hit me. We all know eventually one day we're all gonna die. Everybody knows that going into this, but we don't live like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I took this on myself. Like, I don't, like, to the point where it's like, when people like, they say you should always live every day like it's your last. I know that I don't.
Probably don't.
You know what I'm saying?
If I was gonna die today, I probably
or if you knew
I wouldn't be here. I'd be at home.
Exactly. If you knew on April such and such, so it's just like, it just makes me want to live with more enthusiasm and just go as hard as I can, and even doing little things like letting people I know love them, letting people that I know that I love them, and just pushing so hard, because at the end of the day, it's gonna end for everybody. You don't know when. Everybody don't get old, fat, and move to Miami. So it just made me want to be like, stop procrastinating, stop BSing on things, go hard, love out loud, tell everybody, because this game of life it's a short game, man. So it was just, that's what I took from this whole situation, just to live with more purpose. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. Shout out to Nipsey Hussle, man. Rest in peace.
Man. I thought you were going to say shout out to Darla.
Nah. Shout out to Nipsey Hussle.
What's next on the docket? The docket. The things we finna talk about.
Okay, now I got washed by my sister and your beautiful wife.
Listen, when I was watching that video with the sound off, you lost the argument sheerly on her memory. She had shoulders bouncing. She threw the laptop. And what's your number?
I've been telling you this, and you probably known this forever, but I'm just now starting to see this. Melissa's hilarious.
I have been telling the people,
bro, funny.
She is so much funnier. Since she's been married to me, I've really helped develop her. She is hilarious, man. You don't even be in the text, man. I'd be like, man, you are
funny.
You are funny.
So let me give y'all a little bit of.
And by the way, before you go on, she be swearing on the podcast she's not animated. When I make fun of her, I be doing that.
She's very.
Then you see the video, and I be like, this is what I be talking about. I see this all the time. She don't realize she's doing it.
This is so
she
funny.
She grabs it, and
I say she get more. You live it, ain't you? I was like, that's just so funny, Jesus.
You gonna live to age.
What do you think would be fair? I was just like, man.
She wouldn't let you get a word.
Not in edgewise.
You made the mistake.
No. First of all, let me tell you about this guy.
Black woman.
Bro, listen. I'm sitting there arguing. I'm gonna get into the reasons of what this whole argument was about. Man, pay attention and look at the camera.
I am.
Stop yarning.
I wasn't yarning.
All right. So as I'm going back and forth,
yarning.
Yeah, that's what we call it in Sacramento. But as I'm arguing with Melissa about, so this is what it was. Jeff Bezos and his wife just divorced. He cheated, got caught, whatever. They had to split up the money. She got $36 billion. Do you know that as I'm arguing with Melissa about that's way too much, this dude over in the back like, she should have got 40. What?
Because I know my place in the relationship. you don't. If your woman is that passionate about anything, you're not gonna win that argument.
So you just took that. But did you really believe that?
Yeah.
40 billion. Okay.
Yes.
Listen, guys. This is the problem that I have. Look, I understand she was there with him from the beginning. I understand she had a hand in things.
She wrote the business plan for Amazon. That is not having a hand in it. She helped develop the business. She helped develop. She wasn't just making pancakes and baking on eggs. She wasn't making bakey eggs.
Listen, but this is the problem. I don't think that entitles her to half. Half?
Why?
Half. That's just.
Here's how I look at it, and maybe this is why. Pretty much every good business decision I have made has been with the help of my wife.
Okay.
The move to LA and not foreclosing the house, stupid.
You were stupid.
Stupidity. Helping run the tour, how to do the movie, the stand-up special, all this and that. Not to mention when I first started doing stand-up, and I was out there practicing on the stage, and she was at home taking care of my kids, doing homework, science projects, making dinner, which is supporting me in a different way, right? She didn't necessarily think of the jokes, but my first tagger was her. Being at the shows like, oh, I think you should do this. Still to this day.
Right.
I remember when I was doing
People always talk about the movie. She's great.
She's great. I was doing the Lion King bit, and I was doing Aladdin, and it's another piece. And after one show, she's just like, yeah, he could do without the Aladdin part. It's just not working as well as you think it is. So she did that all along the way.
Right.
So if, God forbid, we lose our marriage and I got 75
50%
million,
would be fair. Okay, but
the least
so
I can do is give to you.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because this is the inherent problem that I have with it. So now let's just say, because it would be safe to say you married your high school sweetheart. You known her since you were what, 16? Okay, cool. It's safe to say that you and her's relationship is the exception, not the rule. Not everybody marries there. Okay, so cool. So cool. So let's just say now.
And when it comes to women, she's in the exception.
Right. You know, all that good stuff. So let's just say this. So now let's just say you're how old?
35.
35. Okay. So now let's just say 35. Boom. Let's say you weren't married to your high school sweetheart. But let's just say that you made it to this level on your own. Let's just say that. And now you get married. You know what I'm saying? And then now you have 2 kids with a woman. You know what I'm saying? And then you're married for 10 years. All right, boom. So now let's say now you're 45. You have a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old.
You're doing a lot of numbers, but I'm still with you.
Okay.
It feels like a word problem.
And now you're worth.
Don't add any more numbers.
Okay. Now you're
Make
worth.
it easy. 50 million.
Now you're worth 500 million.
Nice.
Okay. So you've been married for 10 years. $500 million. 2 children. You're still liable for half. You still feel the same way? That wife, that woman. That's not even saying Melissa. That woman. So that's the problem that I have. But if you did that, that same woman would still get half of your money.
But that's not what we're talking about, though. You're talking about a person. You're talking about Tory Hart and Eniko Hart.
Okay.
And you're saying Eniko doesn't deserve half, but you're blaming Tory Hart. Tory Hart was with Kevin along the ride.
But she didn't get half.
I don't know how much she got.
She didn't get half.
Okay, but she got a fair amount, right?
It was actually, I feel like she got washed in that situation.
Okay, but she's more Mackenzie Bezos than Eniko Hart. Right. Obviously, Eniko Hart is not with, at that point in his life, you couldn't have been with him from the start because he's already a superstar when he married you. Right. So I'm not saying that in any marriage it's fair that, and here's the other thing I want to say. Halle Berry, she still got to pay child support, wild amounts. Britney Spears got to pay child support.
And I don't necessarily agree with that either. I guess that's my problem that I have, because at the end of the day, you know, I'm 39 years old. I'm going to start to accumulate more money. Like a woman want half right now. You get half of these chains. That ain't much. But in 10 years, that half is going to be much more. So I guess that is my inherent fear, that there are women out there that will have not put in nearly the work, but that can get half. I think that's what I was.
Your next marriage is a prenup marriage. There's just no way.
Right. Because I can't.
If you keep going on this path and say you write a movie and you get $10 million, whatever the case is, say you get married at 45 and you got a couple million in the bank.
I can't get I can't let you possibly get half.
You wouldn't though.
But see,
everybody's. If you don't sign a prenup, of course you're entitled.
But see, I guess I have a problem with that.
With what?
Why? What? That doesn't make sense, Kevin.
What?
Why should? If I get married in 5 years and then boom, from that point, you know what I'm saying, and 10 years later, my wife can say that she gets half of the money that she did not help generate.
You didn't sign a prenup?
Why is that fair?
Everybody knows how prenups work.
But I don't think that it's fair.
Then sign a prenup. You can't force.
Oh, but that's the thing. If I cheat, then my prenup is null and void.
You can write a prenup that says even if I cheat, you don't get nothing.
Oh, I can do stipulates.
Stipulations. Prenups can be whatever they want. You can be under no circumstances you get it. If I cheat, it's this amount.
I guess the problem that I have.
If you cheat on me, you get nothing. There's all types. There's not a blanket prenup. It's your life, your money. You can write whatever you want. There's not a blanket rule.
I just think
you feel like somebody's gonna come and take half your money no matter what you do.
No, I just think that it's messed up when people say stuff like Tiger Woods, for example. Tiger Woods, she was not there putting with him on the greens. You know what I'm saying? His wife.
Who was it? Lindsey Vonn or something?
White woman. I don't know her name. Not no disrespect to white women, but I don't know her name.
I don't know her
so, but he got caught cheating. All right, cool. He had to pay something crazy like $400 million to get out of it.
Are you sure about that?
I'm gonna look it up. You keep talking and making
I want you to look it up because I don't remember hearing that ever.
How much
Tiger Woods had to give up $400 million.
Tiger Woods'
2 O's.
wife
WOODZ.
Oh, hold on. Get after the divorce. Okay, $750 million. No, that says $750 million. Hold on. How much did Tiger's ex-wife get after the divorce? Tiger's women to have racial purposes have to for 65 minutes. Okay, that's the wrong thing. Hold on.
And I don't know if this website is accurate.
Okay, so let's go back.
Okay, Ellen Nordegren, that was her name.
Earlier this week, it was that Ellen, estranged wife, was going to net $750 million as a divorce settlement.
Was going to net or
yes,
$100 million.
Walks with $100 million.
Yeah, it looks like she got $100 million.
Okay, but let's see how much he was.
How much he was worth at the time?
Yeah, that's what I would want to see.
Tiger probably hasn't increased his money since then that much.
I thought she got more than that. But even if she got 100, I feel like that's too much.
How much is he worth? It doesn't look like. How much is Tiger Woods worth? Probably $500-600 million, $800 million.
She got 100.
Yeah. So that's not half.
My point is this. This is what I don't agree with. This is the inherent problem I have with all this. If two people get married, cool. People change so much in their lives. I am such a different person than I was 500 days ago. Shout out to 500 Days of Sobriety.
And our full episode will be about Doughboy's 500 Days of Sobriety journey. It's today.
Today.
500 days.
You helped me with that, man. I love you, dog.
I don't know if I helped you.
You did. No, I will explain in detail how you helped me.
Okay, we'll do it.
We'll save for that.
But I want the people to see.
I want them to see it. It's very important. But this is the thing. Just made me forget my thought.
He has 800 million. She has 100. Your inherent problem is this.
My inherent problem is this. People change so much. I'm so different than I was 500 days ago. So I could not even imagine how different I would be if I was from 10 years ago. I'm a totally different person. So if I'm in a relationship and I think this is going to work, if it doesn't work or for whatever reason it changes, now I got to give you half of my money? That's insane to me. Or even a large percentage. 100 million is still 100 million.
And 800.
I got to give up that just because we didn't work out? Why can't you just leave with what you came with? And that's an even bigger problem I have. If you cheat, then whatever. You shouldn't have to be. You should not have to be penalized financially for that.
Why not?
Because it's just a jerk move. It's not. Why should you have to pay
money? Here's the thing about. Do you understand how divorce settlements work?
I'm starting to understand it.
It's basically divorce settlements, child support, alimony are all designed that you said vows when you got married.
Got it.
And after you get divorced, that person is entitled to the similar lifestyle they would have had if you would have kept your vows and kept being married. So if she came into it with nothing and they're married for however many years and she's used to being on the north side of $500 million, you cheat on her and kick her out the house, you expect her to now have to go get a one-bedroom apartment and you continue to have $800 million. The court says that's not fair.
Yes.
If you're used to an $800 million lifestyle, maybe you don't get $800 million.
But you get a lot of it.
But there's a certain lifestyle that your marriage afforded you, so now we have decided you're going to get this amount of money is fair enough that without your husband or wife, because remember, this is when women are the primary breadwinners, they have to pay too. So now,
and I don't agree with that either. But see, this is the thing. And when we were riding the other day, we were talking with George. This is the thing. I agree with this. I think it's just all set up for the government to make money off of people's relationships.
How's the government make money?
Because every time you go to divorce court, some people are getting paid. That's a whole industry that people get paid.
Fees?
Lawyer fees, docket fees. I don't know.
That's not the government. I mean, obviously the court part of it is the government.
I feel like if there's two people in a relationship, if it doesn't work, and I'm not saying that nobody should get. I'm just saying that now there's a whole bunch of people and there's a whole bunch of money that got to get spent for us to break up. And then you got another person that was never in this relationship to tell me, all right, well, you got how much money? Give this, bro. No,
you can always sign a prenuptial agreement, or you can always not get married. If you feel this strongly about it, don't get married.
I want to get married though.
Well, then sign a prenup. No one, you act like somebody's forcing you to get married without a prenup so someone can take half your money. No one.
I don't have a legitimate fear. I had a woman. I had a situation where a woman tried to put a child on me,
and I feel like that's what's basing your information on it. And I didn't say you have a legitimate fear. I'm saying if you have a legitimate fear, you tell this person, hey, I am now worth $5 million. You didn't help me get that. If we get married, you're entitled to nothing. Because here's what happens. Guess what? If you get married, say between now and 5 years, you've accumulated $10 million.
I'm going to get $100 million. But yeah.
Right? No.
Yeah.
Just in this next 5 years, you get $10 million. Right? And you marry your wife, Jane Johnson, becomes Jane Doughboy Belcher. And you're 45, okay? And then you just become a media tycoon. And your $10 million becomes $800 million, and you don't sign no prenup, and y'all are married for 20 years, 30 years, you're 70 years old, they're gonna start that clock from when you got married at $10 million, and you make $800 million, you coming up off $200-300 million of that. If you don't sign no prenup, because she would have been with you from the amount of money you had at the time till however much money you have when you're just born. And you still got time to be married 30 years. At 70 years old, you cheat on her and leave, and you got $800 million, $1 billion now. You're losing $300-400 million, $500 million if you don't sign no prenup.
That's just a scary thought. So, but what I'm learning from this
Choose
is
your
maybe
wife carefully.
Maybe I'm just afraid and I'm deflecting.
You're just afraid. You've been hurt. That girl put that baby on you, and now you, who's trying to take my money? My bank account, my Toyota Camry. Ain't no. You're assuming that everybody's like that girl, and that's not the case. She was trash. That doesn't mean everybody's trash. And if you're not sure, I don't want to be married. It's just something I want to do. Or I'm afraid, and I don't want you to be able to have access to my money henceforth now or forevermore. Here's a prenup. You don't want to sign it, we don't get married.
That actually makes a lot more sense. So maybe, all right. So now when you say it like that,
people lead with fear in a lot of their decision making. That's not even uncommon. People be like, the way we were raised, if you didn't have a dad in your life, you think this, you had, if your mom was mean to you or abused you or people used to pick at you, then you assume everybody's trying. That's not unusual. All I'm saying is you're putting something on Mackenzie Bezos. You're saying she is like
I'm blanketing statement.
You're blanketing every woman in every relationship. No one's entitled to nothing. The man did it all by himself. That's how you come across. The man did it all by himself. You don't, because here's my thing, and this is what I feel like with Jeff Bezos. He doesn't seem to have a problem with it. He cool tweeted like, hey, all the best to her. We did this amazing thing, wrote the check or whatever he did. She's now the fourth richest person or fourth richest woman in the world or in the United States. I'm not sure, one of the two. He don't seem to have a problem with it. So maybe he understands her value. It's like, bro, I know what she brought to the table for me. If me and Melissa got divorced, I would happily write a check for half of my money, whatever that amount is. Right. Because I know I wouldn't have achieved it without her. Without Melissa, I'm probably still working at the bank or Boeing. I'm not on tour by myself, owning my own business. She helped me make these decisions. She helped me keep the money. She's helped me invest the money. She's the one who's like, hey, we need a wealth management meeting. I found us a new accountant. Here's the best place for us to do life insurance. We need to save our money. I'd still be in credit card debt. Like, I was just cool paying off a little bit at a time. She was like, let's focus and get this debt free.
That makes sense. I mean,
I'd write the check with no problem.
When you say it like that, it makes sense. And I guess I do have some fears.
Absolutely. And the more afraid you are, the more wild you are, and the louder you are. Mackenzie Bezos doesn't deserve nothing because that girl tried to put that baby on me. That girl, I don't do the baby.
You're right. She deserves that. And from what they said, the 36 wasn't even half. You said if she would have took half,
they said that if she would have gave her,
it would have ruined the economy.
Because a lot of his net worth is in Amazon stock. Right. Amazon is like $1 trillion company.
And at that point, if you're already getting 36 billion, now you're just arguing some. You can't even spend 36
billion.
Bro,
it's semantics. He can't spend all his money. She can't spend all. What would you do with $1 billion?
Why didn't they just work it out then?
There's some wild cheating stuff and text messages and whatever. I guess.
Men, listen. Stop cheating on your wives. I think I need to make a shirt that says that. Stop cheating on your wives.
The game, though. You get
no,
the
but
course, you know it's half. People know that going in.
But it's just, to me, it's just so disrespectful to women when I see men just out here.
I
turn my eye, and you know I'm not even a judgmental person, but I just, when I know people that be cheating on it, I just be like, get away from me, bro. Like, I just don't like that. It's just
I'm right there with you.
Speaking of high-profile basketball players, actually we weren't speaking of them at all, and my transition was way worse than yours. Speaking of basketball players that are discussing their legacies, Paul Pierce was asked, does he think he's better than Dwayne Wade? I don't know what they expected him to say, but he was like, yeah, better than anybody. And then they came for him and took him away.
I saw a
on
stat
Twitter
that literally almost any category that you can check, he lost. Points, rebounds,
really?
Championships, all NBA, all defensive team, scoring titles, literally everything that you could check.
And he still sat there with a straight face. I'm better.
He
has more points than you, more rebounds, more assists, more rings, more All-Star appearances. I get all of that. Who's better? Me. What do you mean? Me. W. He had nothing to back it up, but I think that's how a lot of us are wired. Like, if they ask me,
put him in an impossible situation.
Yeah.
All he should have said, because I get it, I'm competitive, blah, 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 whatever. Right. He should have said, we're both great players in our own right. I wish him the best on his retirement.
Or another way you could even dress up like, bro, if you ask me, of course I'm going to say me. But I'll leave that for the fans to argue.
No, he wouldn't even got away with that.
You really think so?
The internet be lighting him up. Remember when he was on that farewell tour and Draymond Green was like, they don't love you like that? You think you Kobe? And he was just there like...
That was so hurtful because it wasn't even a stretch. It was just a fact.
It was a...
But people hit you with the truth.
Clippers uniform.
Bro.
And he was sitting there like... You saw that one, give it to
There was a mean statement. I remember when I was in elementary school and Cash was roasting. I'll never forget this. Cash was roasting. It was and like, it was just funny stuff. And then one of the dudes was just like, whatever, you don't know your father. It was just like, whoa, jeez. It was just like, no punchline. You don't know your father. Jeez. It was just rude. It was no punchline attached, but it shut the whole conversation.
That's just the truth. I meet him. I missed him. Why would you say these things to me?
But that's the thing. So, I mean, what was he supposed to say when
He's
you asked?
He's supposed to say...
So if I ask you right now, who's better? So show him how to say it. Hey, who's better, you or Kevin Hart?
Oh, man. Kevin Hart, I'm such a big fan of his. He's accomplished so much. He's inspired me in so many different ways. I mean, it's not even a competition. Comedy's subjective. He has his fans. I have mine. I'm so happy with people that love me.
But who's better, though?
At stand-up?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Comedy's subjective, man. I mean,
But who's better, though? If you had to pick, who's better?
If I had to pick, I'd say Kevin, man. He got it. You can never be wrong being humble.
Yeah.
I would say, man, I mean, look at the numbers. When he say who's better, who sold more tickets, he's watching me. He's at the football field at the Eagle Stadium. I'm at the football field at the Little League Stadium. You know what I'm saying, man?
Right.
Hey, huh? You get it.
Side
I
note,
wouldn't put myself in that position to be like that. Now, if it's me and you talking, I'm like, oh, come on, I'm killing, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'll beat you in stand-up, Kev.
You can't even beat me. That's,
Shut up.
That's
I'll
like
beat you. Listen, you. No, side note.
That's like saying I'll beat you in music. Comedy is subjective, though.
It is.
I was actually thinking about that because I watched Kevin Hart's special.
I was going to talk about that real quick.
Yeah.
That's crazy that you were just thinking the same thing. Go ahead. Can I say how I feel about it real quick?
It's your party.
No matter how funny his jokes were or were not to people, that's not what I'm here to discuss. I do not believe you can successfully do comedy in front of that many people.
The arena?
Oh, it's just too many people.
Comedy
it's
is
not
definitely
music.
an energy. It's an energy game.
How many people were there? Like 20,000?
Something like that.
It was just all of. I was like, I couldn't even get into it because I was just like, this doesn't feel like comedy to me.
He's a comedic rock star.
I don't know that. I think that's an oxymoron.
Yeah.
I think comedy. I think like even when Eddie Murphy did Delirious or when Chris Rock did Bring the Pain, like that was pushing it. Mm-hmm. But he was like 4 or 5 times as much as those.
Yeah, they'd be.
I couldn't get into it. I couldn't even watch the whole thing.
You cut it off?
I couldn't get into. I couldn't get into these. Did you like it?
Here's the thing about Kevin Hart that I realized.
This is for the patrons, so we can speak freely here.
Yeah, I'm gonna speak freely. And I told Beck this. His best skill is he is so doggone likable.
Very much.
He doesn't take himself seriously. He puts himself down. He's funny. He's charismatic. I feel like that stuff transcends his jokes. There was a dude in Tacoma who had some great material, great delivery of it, but people just didn't like his face. Like, so when you open your mouth, I hate the words. You know what I mean? But like, give him your joke. Like if he gave you his jokes, you could kill because you, even if you had, and I'm not saying you have, but even if you had poor material, you like, even the way you, I'm not gonna say the joke because we're still on tour, but there's a way you tell this joke that you're doing your current set, and he's just like, come on, guys. Like the way you do it, people just like, I gotta laugh. I had to do it.
The thing is, I learned that, my pops told me that a very, very long time ago.
So you do know your father?
I do know my dad.
So why did it hurt when the guy said that?
Huh?
When the guy said you don't know your father?
No, he didn't say it to me. Other people were roasting. He didn't say it to me. I know my dad.
That's why I didn't know where it hurt.
No, I was just like, it was just like, ouch, you just said a very hard fact to somebody. Yeah. No, but, with my dad, he told me, he was just like, son, with the comedy and stuff that you're doing, he was like, you just gotta remember two things. The most important thing is ability. The only thing more important than ability is likability.
Oh.
That always stuck with me. Like, people, if they like you, people buy... Don't do that. What was that? That's what you do when your Hot Pockets be ready. You go, ooh, get in here, fat boy. But that's the thing. Likability, I know for a fact, I get way further in life just because I just be cool to be around.
Man, there's
like,
people in our company, when we used to work at ADD, this is sad but true. When we were doing layoffs prior to when the big layoffs happened, early layoffs, and people would really be like, man, we can't let this guy go in. Not you, but certain people like, just look. It talks about you though. They're like, what about Doe? Like, I gotta have it. Like for real. They're like, I mean, come on, man. What was the people literally said in meetings, they were writing names, people were getting laid off. Now luckily for you, the first thing they said was, I mean, come on, man. He's great energy in the office, but the next thing they said was, and his numbers, and his writing, and his talent, and his this. But when people are deciding who to go now, people who are trash, they're like, oh, this guy, man. I mean, nobody even likes him. He doesn't talk to him. Before even that, these people were skilled producers. They're just like, I don't like him. Get him out of here. And think about people you've been on set with, like.
I've seen people get passed on from jobs because when they're sitting there casting, like, well, what about such and such? Like, I'm not going to be on set for 6 weeks with that guy.
Yes.
People don't even
talk about whether they can act in the script.
Do I like you?
Do I want to be around you every day, 12, 14 hours a day for 6 months? That's a lot of hours.
And that's where Kevin excels. His likability is. You know who else I learned a lot from as far as just being able to take a joke as well as I give one.
Barbara Streisand?
No.
Joy Behar?
No. Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon is very you
love Nick Cannon.
You almost forget he's the richest person on the show that he's on. People talk about his albums, his this. Nick Cannon,
I know,
but he went and he's likable.
When I was at the Wild 'N Out taping, when I came and saw you that time, Nick Cannon. This is just funny. This isn't like an admonishment of him. It was the wildest thing. He was walking to the set with his hands like this, and he had a person on each side lotioning his hands. He was walking, and people were writing stuff. It was literally like a scene out of a movie. He was just like, I was like, this man don't have time to lotion his hands.
Yeah, busy dude, but likable.
Likable
dude. Can take a joke.
Super nice on set, and we were chopping it up with him backstage. And you're just like, when I was back there, I was like, I see why people hire this guy.
Oh yeah.
Because if you're gonna be around him, like, and he was just, I think it was literally like a time game. Like, hey man, you're actually like, okay, well, could you do this, and somebody else was, I don't know, but when I was chopping it up with him, like, I mean, I wasn't chopping it up with him, I was around Russell and he was chopping it up. He seemed super nice,
super cool, give you game, and like, that's where I feel like you'll go far, and that's why I feel like Kevin is just great. But as far as watching him tell jokes in front of 30, I don't want to see anybody tell jokes in front of 30.
That's the thing you reminded me of. So I watched 2 other comedians after that who remain nameless, and I was just like,
are you gonna tell me after you turn the camera off?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I was just like, hey, just let anybody get a special on
Yes! I thought it was just
one
me.
guy was just, his humor was, and that's why I really do believe comedy is subjective.
Right.
Because his comedy was so dark, like not funny dark, just like, why would you
saying
say
a bunch
that?
of dark stuff.
Yeah, like if you have here's my dark humor to me. Dark humor done right is ooh, you are making me laugh at something I don't laugh. I should laugh at.
Richard Pryor talking about smoking crack and setting himself on fire.
Corey Holcomb, Richard Pryor, like Corey Holcomb stuff is like, oh, that's so funny. I should not be laughing at that. Now sometimes he crosses the line, but dark, not funny. It's just like
it's
just
like
saying
dark stuff. Yeah,
you just say like wild, rude stuff. That's not like I'll kick a baby. Like I was just like, that's literally what the comedian was like. There was a hot car and a baby was in it. I threw a rock at him. The window was down.
They actually said that?
Yes. Oh, and I'm talking about opening. This is the first 5 minutes because sometimes I randomly, like, just to see where I'm at, I go and watch people's Netflix specials, and very rarely I'm like,
trash.
But Michael Shea,
I haven't seen this. Killed it.
I was like, he deserves everything he's getting.
Word?
Yeah. Like, and that's the thing. And here's the thing that I want to say about just comedy or in general or this podcast, bro. You don't have to have the whole world on you. All you gotta have is the people who like you, love you. Take
like the patrons.
Grateful Dead, the Right Pack. You don't need millions of Right Pack. We just need the people who like us to be really down. And there's people who are just happy to hear from us. You can, and the other thing you need, which I think we both have, I don't need to be filthy rich to be happy.
Oh no.
Because then that's when you start compromising, you start pushing the limit,
you start doing stuff for money.
Bro, we came from literally nothing.
Exactly.
So everything when we go, man, we're on tour, this is so cool. When I get bumped up to first class, this is cool. I'm gonna tell you what happens though. You keep getting bumped up a lot, then you get used to being in first class. And then you're like, oh, coach.
Well, that's
right? But I don't have to fly private. Like I don't have to. I'm glad we're not like in the rap game where you gotta like how much money you have is stunning. Like I want to have investments in businesses that people don't even know.
I mean, just and even just in different stuff, and just to just to piggyback on what you're saying, just to give you props as well. Even with you bringing me on this tour, like I didn't add anything to the bottom line. People weren't just gonna start buying tickets. It wasn't gonna boost it, but just the fact that you were in a position to be like, bring my homie, like, you know what I'm saying? Come on the road, man. No, man, you take this love, man. You take it all. This is me giving up my job at the time, being like, man, I want to get back in the stand-up, and you being in that position that you were in, just to be like, hey, man, just come on out, open up the show, 7 minutes at the Bullet, I got you. Like, that's just, no, man.
I'm going to say,
changed my life. Changed my life, man. That's why I'll be like giving you so much, props, because I'm just like, you don't have to do it. There was no visible benefit for you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even like what we said, like, back in the day when you hired me, like, I was just a dude sending you scripts in the body of an email.
You were hilarious.
But at the same time, it's just like, that you looking out for me, and then a couple years later when we did the studio, side note, we're going to have a special presentation for you. Until later. So, but then, it was able to be like, hey, then you directed the studio. So I think that's a big reason why you are blessed and you go as far as you do. Of course, you're talented, you're good at what you do, you mark off all the boxes on talent, but you're a very good person. You look out for other people. Keep being like that, man. That's why God continues to bless you.
Thank you.
I love you. All right, so one gotta go.
One gotta go.
One gotta go.
And by the way, send your one gotta goes to rr@kevonstage.com.
I haven't done that in a long time.
rr@kevonstage.com, or put them on the community tab in the Patreon. We actually do go through and pull these from.
You know what's so beautiful about the Patreon too? People can comment on the videos.
Stupid YouTube.
They're gonna mess around and have us out of there, and one day it's just gonna be just on Patreon.
Is just making me mad.
Bruh. And they still have no answers for you.
No answers. Just shut up. This is our platform.
One gotta go. TLC, which is T-Boz Left Eye Chili. SWV.
Chili cheese fries for you.
Shut up. Escape or In Vogue. Oh, this was harder than I thought.
What's it gonna be?
So TLC, SWV, Escape, or In Vogue. Okay, so who's first staying?
TLC.
Out of all those?
Yes. TLC.
I would be TLC too.
They're the #1 women's selling group, I think, of all time.
Are they?
At one point they were. I remember. I think they passed the Supremes. And in my personal life, very big fan.
But you know what's crazy about them? No standout vocalists in that group. Nobody ever really went to town singing wise.
T-Boz had a very.
It was more of a hip hop feel.
Yeah, T-Boz had an interesting voice. I wouldn't classify her as a great singer.
You can argue that none of them could really sing that good. So that's a lot for us to take them off the board first.
But
No, and that's no shade.
Music was amazing.
Because I feel like they ushered in a new type of sound that was like hip hop, that was R&B, but just singing wise,
producer and like they don't have any, but.
Now that I think about that, and I hope I don't get washed for this. Oh, but this is for just the Patriots. Yeah. Oh no, okay. Yeah. Oh, and we're not releasing these to the public no more. Oh, I can say how I really feel.
Yeah.
There's no good vocalist in that SWV.
You can always say how you really feel.
Okay, well
I always cut a piece and release it quietly.
Okay, well no, there's not a really good vocalist in.
I can't even tell you that I know what Chili sounds like.
And T-Boz is not a great. And we're gonna take them off the board first.
Yes. Because they made great music. No Scrubs, Waterfalls, all their early stuff.
That's mind blowing to me.
Red Light Special.
Even when you think about
Creep.
But when you really think about it, none of them were ever really singing.
That's why they were in a group. Because they didn't have killer. But I think that's the case for a lot of groups. Like, I wouldn't say Jagged Edge has killer singers.
You gonna slander Jagged Edge one more time?
But do you think
hit you with a Jagged Edge.
Who's the best singer of Jagged Edge? Who could you even name? I didn't know people in Jagged Edge's names.
I don't know either. I'm a fan. Nokia? No, he's at True Hill, right?
No,
first of all, why is your name Nokia? Hey, Nokia. I know who did. I think it was Nokia.
Jagged Edge has twins in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't have no crazy.
But I'm just saying, like we're doing this about One Gotta Go, and the first one off the board for both of us is in a competition for female singers is TLC, and they don't have best female vocalists.
The best singer of these people, the best collection of singers is In Vogue. Because they had, any of them could lead the song. And they rotate back 1, 2, 3, 4. They'd all kill.
So TLC's off first.
TLC's off first.
Still, even though there's no good vocalist there.
Yes.
Okay. Who's second off the board for you?
Who is TLC for you?
TLC too. Because I've consumed more of their music than anybody.
Yeah, SWV.
SWV
I already like them, and then Coco doing Aska with Me and You was just great.
No, I think In Vogue is second off for me. Hold on to your love.
Weak is my favorite R&B song of all time.
Okay.
But I love In Vogue, and they'd be next for me.
Okay.
What it's gonna be?
Wait. So who's next for you? Is it SWV or
SWV, then In Vogue.
Wait. So hold on, wait. We got this one at a time for you to give away who you're taking off.
Okay.
TLC first.
Yes.
Off the board.
Yes.
And you said TLC. And I see TLC.
You said In Vogue. I said SWV.
SWV.
So who's next for you?
Okay. So now I got Escape or SWV for my One Gotta Go. Ooh.
What it's gonna be?
Now, SWV and Escape. I like a lot of songs from SWV. Okay. What's one? Hold on. What's Rain? They had
Rain down on me.
And they did the soul. They were Soul Food Sounds. Okay, so SWV is fire. And Escape is
kick off your shoes and relax your feet.
They were actually like very TLC because I don't feel like they had a lot of strong vocals.
Tiny was the best singer. I actually do not like Candy's voice at all.
Really?
Oh, Candy.
Yeah.
Oh, she got to lead so many songs, but she did write No Scrubs for TLC.
Why didn't she write it for them?
I don't think they were a group at that time. Not like that.
So
remember, TLC was huge.
They were. I would have to lose. So I'd keep SWV and Escape would have to go for me.
Escape can escape this group. I like Just Kicking. I'm trying to think of the other song that they're known for.
Let's look it up because I want to be correct.
Kick off your shoes. Escape. Just kick it. Just kid. There's another Escape song that is escaping me.
See what you did there? Okay.
What is it?
Who Can I Run To? Wait.
Who Can I Run To? That's what it is.
Just Kicking It. Understanding was good too.
All I need from you is understand.
Okay.
That's it. As easy as 1, 2.
SWV got way more hits than them.
Understanding is what I need. Yeah, I'm
okay,
sorry.
So Escape. Yeah. You gotta Escape.
I love y'all.
Right.
But somebody gotta go.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
It's one gotta go, and it's y'all.
It's y'all. Appreciate y'all.
All right.
Thank y'all for rocking with us.
Wait. Don't just be rushed. Don't just be doing an abrupt stop like that.
I gotta poop.
All right. Well, this has been another installment of Righteous and Ratchet. I want to thank you guys, the patrons.
And y'all been pulling up to the shows and being like, hey, Right Pack here.
Appreciate you.
Right Pack, we love y'all. I think when we spell the Right Pack out, we should put an X where the A is so it can encompass the 95. Because the 95 people are all through the Right Pack.
I don't know.
I'll merge that to Right Pack. And we got some designs for the Right Pack.
And we got some new shirts and stuff coming. I got an idea for a shirt that I want to pitch you to.
Okay.
All right. Love you guys.
See y'all next week on Wednesday, where Doughboy gonna tell the story of how he made 500 days sober.
500.
God bless you. God keep you. We'll see you at the conference.
Peace.